So we're going to take a look at casting here and staying inside the baseball, but then ultimately we'll look at a couple other things that Longoria does. But I wanted to make sure we played this video. This is a week old and haven't gotten to it yet. So over here we're going to watch Jack on the left, and we are going to watch his hands do some stuff that we'd rather not do. Go into the baseball really early, which is essentially casting, getting away from our body, slows our swing down, gives up a lot of power. Could go on and on. So we'll just watch his hands. Ooh, goes the ball real early. And this space, right? So this space right here gets really wide really fast. Instead of, nice job keeping his head on the ball. And we might get away with the swing, but let's take a look at Longoria. And we'll try to watch this same space, if you will. Obviously, we're on a little bit different angle. But watch how when he turns, it's very connected. Hands stay in a very similar spatial relationship to his body until it's time to go take his hands to the baseball. And you could tell by this pitch is a bit on the inside, but it does end up going over the fence because he uses such great fundamentals. Okay, so he starts to turn right about here, right? He's become loaded. His stance has become wider than his shoulders, and he's ready to go. And for some of the younger guys that watch these, we talk a lot about, hey, we want to be have some flex in our arms, right? We never want to get straight armed, and he's doing a good job there. Now watch as he turns, how his hands in his arms really don't do a whole lot in the beginning of the turn. Really, it's his body making a turn. All right, so you could really make the case that from here to somewhere, well, here I'll play it, all the way to here, you could really make the case that the relationship between his hands and his chest haven't changed at all, right? He's turned his entire backside, and his hands have come along for the ride. And now at this moment is where he'll start to take his hands to the baseball. But let's take it back. And his hips are turning great, his back knees, he's starting to drive the back knee, the foot's turning, all the things that we talk about, right? But his hands have stayed inside and have really come along for the ride. Okay. Let's keep him going. Let's keep Longoria going. Before I do that, just show you, we'd like to talk about this power L. Nice job there. We also like to talk a lot about the fact that I want the bottom arm to have flex as well, right? So we're really in a good power position here. His front leg, right, is starting to stiffen up. Okay, and of course his back leg is getting to where we want it to be. Okay. Now, let's watch how his hands go now through the baseball. That's really not the right way to say it. His hands swing the handle is really what we want to say here. That's where we'd like to get to. That's where we'd like to get to. Staying behind the baseball, Great back leg action. Great power L. I mean, all the things that we talk about, right? That's where we'd like to get to. And then a great turn. And then I would also mention, sometimes we've seen this season, he finishes with high hands, right? He finishes with hands up by the shoulder. The only similarities between these two players right now are the number they wear on their jersey. So that's where we'd like to get to.